What are the most basic constituents of reality?
Okay. Most basic constituents of reality. Um, See, for somethingness to exist, okay, there has to be a platform. Let's say you want to paint something, you need a canvas. You want to dance, you need to have a stage. So, similarly, for the universes to exist, there needs some platform. So, I call this as cosmos. This is the whole existence. Nothingness is infinite, absolute, eternal. Okay. This nothingness is consciousness as well. This is just conscious. Okay, no life as such, no physical forms. Upon that, there is somethingness. Okay, it's because of this consciousness, the dead matter can be arranged in a certain way according to the DNA code in the program. Using that, a physical structure is built. Evolution, whatever is added, the code is continually upgraded for the life. So different constitutions of life is the other day we spoke about the 5 sheets of human body, Annamaya Kosha, the food body. So these are the 5 different sheets. That is the constituent of the reality as well. Then the other day we also spoke about 4 different sheets of reality. Like one is within your head, one is your immediate family and friends, one is the human world, and the other is the larger existence. So you can divide existence into many things as such. Depends on whom you are talking to. Depends on whether your pursuit is religious or scientific or spiritual or none of the above. It's possible. What instruments are you using to pursue the reality? If you're using microscope to pursue the reality, you'll find one outcome. If you're using a telescope, you'll find some other outcome, right? And the same person is doing it. The reality, you see, again, the reality, if a person is a biologist, he will look at the whole thing in a biological way, through the eyes of a biologist. If he's a mathematician, many mathematicians think that God is a mathematician. For him, the whole universe is a mathematics. Have you heard about Pythagoras, right? For him, there were like certain sacred geometries. For him, the whole universe was mathematically represented. It is mathematically symmetric. There are no imaginary numbers as such. Today we have imaginary numbers. According to Pythagoras, imaginary numbers cannot exist. And someone who actually claimed to actually see the square root of 2 is an imaginary number. Okay, there is no perfect real number for a square root of 2. The value is 1.141 and it goes on till infinity. See, imaginary number means you cannot divide it into 2 fractions, like 1 by 2 is 0.05. You cannot divide it into a fraction, so that becomes an imaginary number. It happened so much so that ultimately they ended up killing him. It was considered like a blasphemy. Imaginary numbers cannot exist because the universe is mathematically perfect. Imaginary numbers, irrational numbers, they are not mathematically perfect. So it depends on how you observe the world. That's why the other day I told you, right? He asked a question to a neuroscientist and she answered it in a certain way. I was like, why did she answer like that? Because she's a neuroscientist. She'll think in a certain way. If you're raised a Hindu, if you're raised a Christian, if you're raised as a Muslim, you'll see different things in a different way. Depending on the culture, depending on the tradition. Many things come into factor. Do you think written a quote saying, even though we are all living in the same world, we are all living in a different worlds? Do you think the Mudgir is same for everyone as it for you? Or Mangalore is the same? For every person, Mudgir is different. For Anu, Mudgir is different. For Vishu, Mudgir is different. For me, Mudgir is different. For you, Mudgir is different. This is so with every place. Even the place we did not go to. Example, Japan is a completely different place for you. Japan is a completely different place for me. How I look at Japan or how I look at Afghanistan. Right? For everything. You may not look up to any one particular God, but still my idea of divinity, your idea of divinity, my understanding of the nature, my understanding of life, everything is different for everybody, right? Certain may have a common prescription, like the religions will give you a common prescription. Even that will bias your thinking, your perceptions. But still at the end of the day, I think everybody's perception about God, about anything is very different. Very different.